Hi, I'm Trevor Lund from RevTrev.com, and I'm very happy once again to have my friend Cheryl Shea here from EdmontonCounselingServices.com, because she's helping me to answer some questions that RevTrev readers have been giving me. And these have been piling up, and I've tried to respond as best I can. But there's some that I need someone else's opinion that has that experience to really help people. So thank you so much, Cheryl, for being with us.
You're welcome.
And Cheryl, I'm going to hit you with a question right now that I know people are asking. The question is, how can Christians be depressed? You know, I always laugh, like when Christian blues is just, I love that genre of music, but I mean, is it theologically correct?
Blues?
The Christian blues
okay.
is like, you know.
I didn't know there was such a genre.
Oh, it's great, yeah. So, how can Christians be depressed?
Well, it's quite easy. We're human.
Oh.
That's the quick answer. I mean, we're human, right? So life doesn't happen the way we want it to, and we're sad, we're disappointed.
I think it's important you mean everything to realize change the moment we're a Christian? You mean like life doesn't, everything works out for us after we commit to Christ?
No, it doesn't.
Really? Oh, wow. That's a shock.
That would be really nice if it did.
I often thought
but it doesn't.
Yeah. If the rapture would take place as soon as you said the words, there'd probably be less people saying the words, but
then you might be okay.
So what is depression? Like why is it because we're human? Like why is that why is that the answer?
Well, I mean, there's basically three parts to answering that question.
Mm-hmm.
The first is we're human and we have emotions. I mean, Jesus portrayed a wide array of emotions in the accounts we have of his time here as a human, as fully human, fully God. He was sad, he was angry, he celebrated at weddings. There's just a wide range of emotions that he showed in the scriptures. So having emotions, even sad emotions, he wept about Lazarus' death.
Mm-hmm.
So we can be sad when someone dies. We should experience grief. Yeah. We're not very good at experiencing grief. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't say anywhere that Christians don't grieve. It says we grieve but with hope. Yeah. So there's a difference there.
Huge.
So if someone's spouse dies and they've been happily married for 30 years, it would be wrong to not be sad and to experience that grief. If we have a huge disappointment in our life, if we're faced with a health crisis, it would be abnormal to not experience some of those sad, or what we kind of lump together as depressed emotions, whether that's grief, disappointment, shock. Those things all can be part of what we call grief. Mm-hmm. Now, the other part of depression is something that we call clinical depression. Clinical depression is a biological problem in your physical brain. Mm-hmm. So we don't, and the funny thing is we don't have a problem as Christians. We have high blood pressure. So we go to the doctor says, you have high blood pressure, you need to do something about it. We'll try to change our lifestyle, we'll go on medication, we'll go forward and we'll say, physically, I have this problem with high blood pressure, and ask for prayer. We're good with that.
Yeah.
But if we have not the right amount of neurotransmitters in our brain, things like serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, we will experience clinical depression, so a medical depression. And in order for that to be healed, we either need medication or we need divine healing from God.
Yeah.
Clinical depression's significant. People commit suicide when they're clinically depressed. Mm-hmm. So if we are experiencing that kind of depression, it's really important that we see a counselor and see a doctor and a psychiatrist perhaps to get the help we need from that. So that's part of it too. We also experience even clinical depression and grief and sorrow because we live in a fallen world, right? In Romans, it talks about all creation groaning as it eagerly awaits the appearance and our full adoption as sons and daughters in Christ.
Yeah.
So we're still, theologically, we're still in a place where not everything is happy. Mm-hmm. And we don't like that very much as believers, because we really do want everything to be happy and fine all the time. But it isn't going to be that way. So if you've experienced some loss, and you're experiencing grief, go and talk to someone about it. Even if that grief is disappointment, you've lost your job or you've been unemployed for a period of time or whatever it is. If you're experiencing something that isn't going away after some counseling and a few months, and you're having suicidal thoughts, you need to go see a professional counselor and see your doctor, because there's something medical going on. So that's how Christians end up depressed.
That's a really good answer, and that's great advice. You know, one of the things that really stuck with me in Sam, I think it was a guest lecturer came in. I think I know who it is, but I don't want to say his name because I could be wrong. But one piece of advice he gave, it was a question like, how do we know if it's demons or depression? And his response was, well, if I give them drugs and it goes away, I don't think it's demons.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? That saved me so much grief to know how to pray for people. Like, do I pray for deliverance or do I pray for healing? And when I pray for healing, we start seeing results, and anyway. Thank you so much, Cheryl. And
you're welcome.
If you want to get in touch with Cheryl, you go to EdmontonCounselingServices.com. She does Skype interviews. She's got books available there, and she's got a blog too that you can find lots of really good information on there. EdmontonCounselingServices.com. Thank you so much, Cheryl. We'll catch you next time.
Okay, thanks, Trevor. Bye.
Bye.